Hey guys, I'm Tyler.
I'm Matt.
And today we are going to be doing a review for you guys. We know that we haven't really uploaded too much here on
For a
reality
long
films.
time.
So hopefully we'll start uploading a little bit more content on here, mostly reviews of the Marvel films and just films in general, whatever films we find intriguing. Today we're going to be starting off with Spiderman Far From Home. We saw it just today, so we're pretty fresh on it. So it's opening day for us. Obviously, some people may have saw it last night, midnight premieres. Some people may have saw it yesterday that are overseas, etc. But we saw it as soon as we could, so that way we can get this review out to you guys. So we're just going to go into all aspects of the film: characters, story, post-credit scene. This is going to be filled with spoilers.
We're basically going to be blabbering on for like
basically
a while.
basically just pure spoilers here. So do not expect this to be spoiler-free. If you have not seen the film, click off this video. Add it to your watch later. Go see the film. Come back and join us and discuss. So without further ado, grab something to eat because this is going to be a very long video. We have a lot to talk about. And yeah, so like I said, review/discussion kind of can go both ways there. So the first thing I want to talk about really is the characters. Basically how they all were different. There were some differences, especially from Homecoming. Mainly with MJ's character. Or Zendaya's character, MJ. And I want to talk about that. So, what did you think of MJ in this film?
I liked her a lot. I did like her in the first one, definitely. She was kind of weird, but I liked that. But at the same time, I wanted like more to her.
Yeah, she was pretty weird. Yeah.
But yeah, I liked her a lot. She's definitely a big step up. I mean, she's still like the love interest mostly,
Yeah,
but
yeah, for sure.
I feel like she had a lot more to do in this movie, whereas before she's like just kind of observing people, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
So this one, I thought she was a big step up than the last one.
Yeah, in the last one, she was definitely kind of just like the one-liner person. Kind of was there to just look weird and
basically
do one-liners. And she still kept that same weird personality, and it really does make you question why Peter likes her so much. But she's really dark. That's one thing that you notice right off the bat with this character. But it's a nice change. I mean, it's nice. It's definitely an improvement over the Mary Jane character. And it's not Mary Jane. It's
this universe's MJ.
Yeah, it's just MJ. So it's a different person. And I liked her.
Me too.
I'm not going to even lie. I'm not going to try to, play the stupid card and say that I didn't think this because I did. I was not confident in Zendaya's ability to play this character very well. But I will say that I actually can't imagine anyone else playing it. So
yeah, me too.
Did a good job.
And if I'm being honest, I never really liked actual Mary Jane before, so I thought she's better if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, for sure. I think the best part about this character is that we don't know much about her. We don't know anything, so they can obviously explore that because rumor has it they're making 9 movies. I don't know if I believe it or not, but maybe
we'll see.
I doubt they'll make it to 9. Maybe they'll do 4 or 5, but I don't know. But anyways, going back, we'll move on from MJ, go on to Peter Parker, Tom Holland. Really the same person. If you liked him in Homecoming, you'll like him in this.
Yeah.
Really.
Only difference about Peter in this movie is that he's definitely more sad the whole movie.
Yeah. I don't know why I agreed for you.
I know, that was funny.
I think that just proves how often I listen. But yeah, I felt like in the last one, each movie he kind of learns a different lesson. First one he kind of learned that he's able to handle himself, he's able to handle situations himself without Tony Stark. And then this one was more about him learning how to balance being a superhero and having friends. Very similar to...
And how to live in a world without Tony Stark. Too.
Very similar to Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire's portrayals of the character, where they have to learn how to balance being Spider-Man and being a friend and a worker. The difference is I feel like Tom Holland is Tom Holland's Peter Parker, I should say, is being a lot more pressured because he has Nick Fury down his neck. And everyone trying to just tell him that if he doesn't be Spider-Man, he's a piece of crap. And I feel like with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, it was more like they chose, it was a self-conscious thing. They felt
this feels like he has to.
Yeah, in those movies, it was they felt like they had to. In this one, it actually does feel like they have to, or he has to. So that was the first thing about that. And then going on to Mysterio, which I'm sure a lot of you are curious about. Was he good? Was he not? If you don't know by now, he's a villain. If you know anything about the comics, you know that he's a villain. He's one of Spider-Man's main villain alongside Green Goblin and Vulture. So, and obviously Venom, but we're not going to get Venom.
Yeah.
Well, at least for a while, until they eventually buy Sony.
Yeah, basically.
Which I'm sure is going to happen. But, yeah, I enjoyed him. I thought Jake Gyllenhaal did by far the best iteration of Mysterio that he could.
He's honestly kind of stupid, if I'm being honest, and like they actually managed to make Mysterio cool.
Yeah, and I really liked, like, obviously, as we all know, Mysterio is an illusionist. He and like with his
my nose.
Yeah, like going back to it, they did make him really cool, and he rarely, like, when he was a good guy, I actually wanted to cheer him on. Like, I'm not even though I knew he's gonna be a bad guy, I was still like, yeah, I want to cheer.
I know there was a part of me that was like, well, now I kind of want him to stay good. I kind of like this hero, but then it's gonna happen eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
He's not
because Mysterio's just a bad guy. But yeah, he's an illusionist. He actually, so the story behind this movie is yet another one of the stories where Spider-Man has to deal with consequences left by Tony Stark, because this guy was also pissed off by Tony Stark.
Yeah, because that's a recurring theme in Spider-Man now.
He used to work for him. He actually created the hologram technology that Tony used in Civil War at the beginning to create that holographic reiteration of him and his parents talking before they eventually died. And basically Mysterio's just pissed that he used it for emotional help, basically, and instead of using it for something bigger. So then he used it for that and created the elemental villains, which were cool, I will say. But if he wasn't the villain, this movie wouldn't have been the same, because those elemental villains had no personality. They were just there to
They literally
things.
were just monsters.
Yeah, and it was cool to see them. I mean, it was especially the water one. That was probably my favorite one, and I don't know why. I thought it was cool.
I kind of like the fire one, I think.
Yeah, I like the fire one too, but I thought the water one was like, even though they said the fire one was the most powerful, it technically, like, obviously it wasn't real or anything. But yeah. So like the plot twist of him becoming a villain, not a plot twist to us. Maybe to some of you, to casual viewers, it may have been a plot twist because you wouldn't have seen it coming. They didn't reveal it at all in the trailers. What was your favorite moment of this movie? What was your favorite scene, I should say?
My favorite part of the movie was I think it was halfway through the movie where you get that first time that Mysterio is doing the illusion on Peter.
Yeah.
By far my favorite part in the whole movie. I thought that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't even wearing was he even wearing a Spider-Man suit? If he was, he wasn't wearing that one.
Yeah, he was wearing the stealth suit in that scene.
And then he used his powers to make it look like he was in his old suit. So I like that because even though he's not wearing that one, he's not going to be wearing it the whole trip. That's like our way of seeing like that suit, even like for the people who want to see, like, I mean, it's not exactly original, but the closest to normal Spider-Man.
Yeah, for sure. That scene was really cool. I agree. Any scenes with the illusions in general, the elemental villains, and then that scene in particular where he's basically like, it's really cool. Like, you really just have to see the movie to understand this scene. It's really cool to look at. Basically, he's like creating a false environment around Spider-Man, and Spider-Man actually has to overcome that in the end by using his sixth sense, which is obviously Spidey sense, or in this movie, the Peter tingles.
I hope that's not for everyone.
Yeah, so he had to use that in the final battle to kind of work his way around the false reality that Mysterio's creating. It was really cool. I loved the scene when Iron Man crawled out.
Yeah, me too. That was so cool.
It wasn't actually Robert Downey Jr. It was just the CGI Iron Man suit. But that was still really cool to see. And it was actually at that very moment when I knew, like, okay, this movie is better than Homecoming.
Yeah, by far.
By far, this movie was a big one up. The first half was actually just okay. It was a build up, very similar to Endgame. A lot of it didn't have that much
that action either. It literally starts out as a fun story, summer movie / love story.
Yeah.
And then with a sprinkled in of Spider-Man. And then the second half it's like full Spider-Man.
Yeah, second half it's kind of full Spider-Man.
Well, yeah.
He doesn't have the suit. He has the stealth suit, which I'll get into here in a minute. About that stealth suit. But yeah, the second half was where it was at. It was a lot of action. Non-stop, actually, almost for like the last 30 minutes. And it's actually funny. The final fight was with drones. which I didn't think would ever be entertaining, but they managed to pull it off very
I know.
well.
And Mysterio doesn't even use his suit at the end. He literally has like a helmet on controlling the drones.
Yeah, we didn't even really see a one-on-one fight because they made... One thing I love is that they made Mysterio's character one that if he doesn't have his illusions, he's just a guy.
Yeah, he is.
He can be... He just has to be, like... He's just a guy.
And I think that's why they had them not have a one-on fight, because I think Spider-Man would have beat him easily. So
because there's no way that he can... Yeah, there's no way that he could have one-upped him because he doesn't have any superpowers. He's just a smart guy.
A normal person who's mad.
Just like
Tony
the first
Stark.
one, just like Homecoming. It's a mad guy. Very smart, creates his own technology, and he uses it to harm anyone associated with Tony Stark.
No, I like that a lot.
And they did pay a lot of tribute to Tony Stark in this movie. A lot of murals around, even like when they were in Italy and those in like overseas. There's a lot of like little paintings on the wall of Tony Stark and Iron Man, which I found very awesome and very
even
cool.
the first opening scene of the movie, I'm pretty sure is, or at least after the Marvel logo, is like a tribute to like all the heroes who aren't Avengers anymore. I mean, it's made by the students, so it's bad and cheesy.
But they did it. But it was kind of cool to see. Yeah, it started off with like a student news broadcast, and I was wondering why when you watch the movie at the very beginning, there's a really odd music choice, and I was wondering what that was about. But yeah, it was a part of the student news thing, and you'll see what we're talking about if you actually go see the film. Which is why I hope that many of you saw it, because what we're saying really wouldn't make much sense if you haven't seen it. But going back to the stealth suit, I have a problem with it. And the only reason I have a problem with it is because it was in it for way too long. I liked it for like the first 10 minutes. And then after that, I want to say it was in the film for a solid 20 to 30 minutes straight of being his main suit. And it's cool, but it's just, I don't know. I didn't like the stealth suit that much. I liked it for being a short little thing that he could use while he doesn't have his regular suit. But he should have gotten his regular suit really quickly after he did his main mission and gone back to it instead of having that stealth suit on. I don't know. I found it really boring. It's a big downgrade from his Iron Spider suit.
I think so too.
Sure.
Probably my least favorite. I think I even like his homemade suit more than that one, if I'm being completely honest.
And they did do a little callback to that in the illusion scene, where they had him. So they kind of had a callback to all the suits in case you wanted to see him wear. Also for toy sales, but
yeah, that's the main reason. Let's be honest.
But yeah, and then in the end, they obviously introduced his new suit design with the red and black instead of the red and blue, which hopefully he still is kind of like Iron Man, and he goes in and out of
each of his suits.
Yeah,
because I personally want him to go back to the one he had in the first one. Yeah, I really like the red and blue.
And so yeah, that was really cool to see, for sure. So what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so story wise, like I said, throughout the whole movie, it's solid. Kind of a love story, kind of not. And one thing I really love is the dilemma difference. So one thing I think everyone criticizes this iteration is he doesn't really have much of a struggle because he is backed up by Tony Stark and Stark Industries and has definitely he's going to have no problems getting into college or succeeding in life. He's going to be set up. I'm 100% sure that they're going to hand down Stark Industries to him or something like that.
Yeah,
he's set up.
He's going to be rich.
and with Tobey Maguire's, especially in the Raimi films, he was dealt with the challenge of being poor, of having to deal with having a job, being Spider-Man and going to school. I feel like this Spider-Man's dilemma is always going to be having Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. on his neck at all times.
To be an Avenger. When instead of the other versions where they don't necessarily even want to be a neighborhood Spider-Man, he wants to be a neighborhood Spider-Man. He wants to help, but he doesn't really want to be Avenger, which I think is interesting because in Civil War and in Homecoming, he wants nothing more than to be an Avenger. And then this one, he basically wants the complete opposite because now he realizes the real struggle of being a hero, which I really
really so
like.
it's nice that in these films they're kind of exploring the challenge of having to deal with having a personal life and being a superhero, which I find really cool. I think, I don't know, if there's really any scene in this whole movie that I didn't like, there's not one I hate. There's a few. I have my nitpicks, obviously, about this film.
Just little sprinkles of all that. I didn't like that.
Like the stealth suit.
One thing that, even though I said before, I did like that. Oh, it's just him. Mysterio is just a guy. I really do kind of wish we got to see him in the main fight, him in the suit again, Mysterio. I really do even if it was just it would go back and forth constantly. I did want to see him in the Mysterio outfit, which he's basically just in. He's wearing a helmet and like animation, like animated things are attached to him. Like I wanted this to. He doesn't even need to wear like the big bubble helmet. He just just him in the cape and stuff. I would have liked to seen that like one more time. Because you saw that a lot like at the beginning, towards the middle, but then at the very end, it's not like usually it'd start out like he doesn't wear it, and then he would wear it more throughout. It seemed like it did the opposite.
If I have any nitpicks, really, it was I wasn't a big fan of Ned's love interest in this film.
Oh yeah, me too. I completely forgot she's even in the movie.
There's no real chemistry there. And it's just kind of like there for a joke, like yeah. You know.
I kind of thought she was annoying a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. She was okay. The actress was fine. They were fine as individuals, but together there's just no real chemistry there, actor to actor. Personally, in my opinion,
I think she was just introduced solely just for jokes.
And solely for the joke, like that.
Which there are funny ones, but
yeah, this movie's probably funnier than Homecoming. Honestly, it's.
I definitely say top 5 funniest of all the MCU.
It was really funny.
Yeah.
Especially like Ned, very funny. He really wasn't as big of a deal in this movie. In Homecoming, he was kind of like.
In this one, he's just the.
He was kind of like the Robin to the Batman. In the first one. In this movie, he was kind of just, I'm here to like give you a reason to do this.
Yeah.
He was kind of being whiny. It was kind of weird, but
I know.
Yeah, he's kind of off character.
He kind of did. He and a few other people kind of felt like, almost like they were different. And
yeah.
Or that should lead into Nick Fury, if you want to talk about that now.
That's so. To get into that, those are the post-credit scenes, which are by far probably the most shocking in the MCU so far. Because
especially the first, I know the second one's probably more shocking. I mean, it is because now I want to rewatch the whole movie now that I know what happens. But like that first one, when Mysterio announces Peter Parker's name to the entire world, or at least that country that they're in. That's pretty shocking because if everyone knows who Spider-Man is, that's kind of taken away from Spider-Man.
For those of you that don't know, the post-credit scene, pretty cool. Basically, it's Peter is like watching a news thing, and on it, Mysterio pops up and plays a forged video of Spider-Man saying he's the one that launched the drones, basically saying Spider-Man's gone rogue.
And doing his,
And then Mysterio also reveals that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, shows a picture of him, and there's a lot of ways that they... And that was the cliffhanger, that was a big cliffhanger for this movie, and now we have to wait 2 years until we can figure out what happens, which sucks, but...
that's one annoying thing about having such a serialized universe is that it literally is like a TV show sometimes. And so when you have to wait 2 years to find out what happens in the next episode, that can be really frustrating.
Yeah.
Especially when it's your favorite series.
And not only that, this is a pretty big cliffhanger. There's a lot of ways they could go with this. They could make the Daily Bugle not a good source and no one believes it. That's one way they could do that. They could
even say, "Oh, that's not Spider-Man."
S.H.I.E.L.D. could cover it up. He has S.H.I.E.L.D. on his back.
The only thing that makes me wonder, though, is he did say his name is Peter Parker to the entire world. I mean, there could be more than one Peter Parker.
The funny thing is now, or they could explore Spider-Man facing the dilemma of having to deal with people not only hating him, because I'm sure there's going to be doubters of that video, because a lot of people do believe in Spider-Man, and there's going to be some people that just believe it right away. I'm sure Flash Thompson will probably be like a doubter of that video.
And he'll refuse to believe it.
Because he's a huge Spider-Man fan. He's usually a bully, but... he is still a bully, but he's a big Spider-Man fan in this universe, which is fine. But yeah, I'm sure there's going to be half and half there, but he's going to have to deal with that. He's going to have to deal with people hating him. He's going to have to deal with people believing that video. He's going to have to deal with people knowing his identity. And then they could have S.H.I.E.L.D. or someone erase everyone's minds. I don't think that's going to happen.
I think if that were to happen, I think they would do the whole his friends would forget too.
Yeah.
And then he won't have anyone anymore.
Yeah. Or they could just move on.
Yeah.
Never talk about it. I don't know. I'm sure they're gonna explore that in the next movie. That's the only reason that was there, is to build up for the next film. And then the post credit scene, which basically revealed that Nick Fury and Maria Hill throughout this whole movie were Skrulls.
I don't like that.
And the real Nick Fury and the real Maria Hill are on a spaceship in space, and they had Talos and his wife basically act as them to watch over Earth. Which, I don't know. I was wondering why Nick felt so out of character. Like, he felt definitely out of
He
character.
felt like him, but he felt more
whiny.
Yeah, more whining and like almost desperate. Which I mean, he is desperate. You need heroes to defend
I just
the world.
thought it was just like they were just writing him a weird script. I didn't think anything of it. But there we go. Now we know that they were Skrulls the whole time. So had
And then
that.
in the end, you find out that Nick Fury is basically on vacation or something.
Well, so from what I'm seeing is it looks like they're actually on a mission up in space, and he was like doing like a holographic.
That's probably setting up Captain Marvel too. I didn't even think about that.
That's
till now.
probably what it could be, especially because Skrulls are basically Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that didn't even cross my mind till now. But I'm thinking, why else would he be in space? Because they're obviously going to want him to be in all 3 Captain Marvel movies, and she can't be on Earth, or at least not for very long.
Yeah, so.
So I'm guessing that's what that
was.
means.
It was just, I don't know. It kind of ruined the whole idea of Nick Fury and Maria Hill. Like, I can never watch the movie the same again. I still love the movie and I still enjoy the crap out of it. But I'm just saying, it changed the movie.
Yeah, they weren't in that much of the movie, but it's still like, I feel like they're on this big kind of like trend now of making Nick Fury less and less cool like each movie he's in. He started out like so awesome, and that first time you see him in the after credit scene of Iron Man, you know, like, oh, this guy is.
And then he got his eyes scratched out by a cat.
Yeah.
And now
he just takes a
he
break
takes vacations. Looks like an
in
old
outer
drunk
space,
man.
and has Skrulls do his jobs for him. That's weird. I don't like that. They're making someone who I thought who had such a big backstory and all this like weight behind him, and they're kind of making him wimpy. And this is the guy who started the Avengers.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That post-credit scene was weird, but without that, this movie is damn near perfect. Very good. One of the best Marvel movies out there, and that's saying something because they are all solid. 9 out of 10 for me, man.
Yeah, me too.
9 out of 10, solid. Just good stuff. Like, really, do I think it tops Spider-Man 2? Probably not. Not for me, at least, because I am a huge fan of the Raimi films. Except for, I didn't like the third one. But, I thought it was a great film. I thought that it was a step up. I thought it was a step in the right direction. I thought it was a great way to launch Phase 4, even though it's not in Phase 4. I still think it launched it, which is fine.
And I know a lot of people are going to be annoyed. Like this, like they're taking Spider-Man in a very different direction in the MCU, and I'd say even more so in this one. So if you don't like that, you are not going to like this movie. But I'm ready for a new. We've seen how much. There's so many different TV shows.
We've seen the same
Spider-Man,
the same Peter Parker over and over again.
But
it's time to get something different. Yeah, it's time we get a new version. I don't care if it's loyal to the comics. None of these movies.
They're adaptations. Let's be honest, the
MCU
MCU is basically its own thing anyway. It's taken. I like this from the comics. Let's take the spirit of that, but modernize it to a modern audience.
Yeah. So love the movie. If I have anything bad to say about it, it's just small little nitpicks and the post-credit scene a little off. But if you haven't seen this movie, go out and see it. It's a wonderful movie. If you love Marvel movies, you'll like this. If you just like Spider-Man and you don't want to watch the MCU, you do not need to really watch any of the other movies.
There are callbacks to other movies, but I don't think you'd even raise an eyebrow.
There's a few callbacks to Civil War and Iron Man. But really, you don't need to watch all the other ones to understand this film. You could just enjoy this film as a Spider-Man fan, probably, as long as you watched Homecoming. Honestly, maybe you won't even need to have watched Homecoming. So, in all, this movie's wonderful. If you haven't seen it, go out and see it. You do not have to be an MCU fan. You can just like Spider-Man and enjoy this film. My name's Tyler.
I'm Matt.
And thank you guys for watching.